Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the video. So after a slow few weeks in the market, we finally got some volatility this week with the market pullback. In this video, we're going over the top 3 trade ideas that I'm watching for the month of October, where this pullback has built out some very nice setups in stocks, and we're also going to be going over the outlooks on the S&P 500 and Bitcoin for the broad market direction and the broad crypto direction. As always, there are timestamps in the description. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. So starting out by taking a look at the S&P 500 with the SPY chart, and what played out last week was on Monday it had a breakout to new highs, which was triggered above 664 to 664.89, and it ran up to 667.34 before finding resistance. Then the pullback started on Tuesday with the start of the downside move being triggered on the breakback below that 664 to 664.89 zone. This zone backtested and rejected as new resistance on Wednesday before a very volatile day on Thursday, where it found support at the 654.55 key level. 654.55 is a major decision point, as that was highs from September 10th and the low from the sell during the FOMC meeting on the 17th, and now it is the low of the current pullback. So next week will be very important for the overall trend, and for the bear case, this can be looked at as a head and shoulders pattern with 654.55 as the neckline and the breakdown trigger. Breaking below 654.55 starts the larger pullback and can target the next supports below, which are at 652.2, 649.48 to 650, which is also a major pivot, and then 646.2 and 645. On the upside, key resistances are at 661 to 661.78, which it needs to hold above to open upside back to 664 to 664.89. And as we went over, the breakback below that zone is what triggered the start of the pullback, so a successful reclaim back above it would open upside back to all-time highs. So now taking a look at Bitcoin, we had gone over the recent breakout that happened above 113,400, which followed through to the next target above before finding resistance. We talked about how it was now key to hold above 113,400 as new support in order to keep that breakout intact and immediate upside in play. And last week that breakout failed back below 113,400, which acted as the downside trigger, and it sold down to 109,000 before finding support. So to next week, I would now watch 113,400 to 114,000 as the area that needs to reclaim in order to reattempt the breakout and put immediate upside back in play. If it fails to reclaim, this can turn into a larger pullback. Zooming out on the chart, so far it has found support at 109,000, which is the top of that broader zone, with 105,000 being the bottom of that zone. So a break and hold below 109,000 would trigger further downside, and it would target the previous swing low at 107,300, and then 105,000 next below there. So now getting to the top trade ideas that I'm watching in the month of October, starting out with a stock that's an attractive dip buy, and that's with Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. So this is a stock that I talk about pretty much every single time it has a sizable dip, and I do that for a few reasons. Dips get bought up consistently on Amazon and tend to work well and work quickly. I marked every 8 to 10% drop on the stock in the past 2 years with these arrows. And ignoring the tariff scare, which happened to pretty much every stock, we can see that dips simply get bought up in this name. And another reason is Amazon is in the category of stocks that you buy and you don't worry about. You can always be confident that Amazon will make new all-time highs, and it's not a question of if, but a question of when. Amazon has lagged the other mega caps this year overall, though there are a ton of reasons to be bullish that I will spare you in this video, but once it breaks out, I think it goes on a pretty major run higher. The broader technical setup is the about 1 year long cup and handle pattern, with 240 to 242.52 being the large breakout trigger into new highs. Once it breaks above there, it probably never looks back. And in the short term, the biggest dip buy levels of interest include 218, the 200-day moving average at 214.75, 206, and 200. And for the short-term bull case, it would need to reclaim and hold back above 225 to 226.8, and the 50-day moving average to open upside back to highs, as those levels were the downside trigger of this pullback. So now going over a stock that has held up well during the recent market pullback, and that's First Solar, ticker symbol FSLR. So stocks that hold up well during broad market pullbacks are important to note, as these will often explode higher once the market reverses back up. So First Solar is testing the key 220 level, which has acted as a key pivot since 2023. If we zoom in, we can also see that it has acted as the top of the range for almost a year, and that is since October 10th of 2024. A break and hold above 220 triggers the breakout out of this range and opens upside to target the next levels above at 232.25, 244.89, 250, 254.25, and 262.65. And if we zoom out on the very long-term chart, we can see that the stock has built out an almost 2-decade-long cup and handle pattern. The major breakout trigger and neckline of this pattern would be at 300 to 317, where a break and hold above there would likely result in a very explosive move into new all-time highs. And another stock that has held up very well during the market pullback is Nextracker, ticker symbol NXT, and this is another solar stock. So it finally got the breakout and hold above its cup and handle pattern, and after building out a well-defined consolidation above, it has gotten the breakout above that as well. So zooming in, the top of the consolidation range is at 69.35 to 70.15. Successfully backtested this with a strong reaction from buyers as new support, and has also built out a small consolidation above it as well. So from here, as long as it holds above 69.35 to 70.15, it keeps the breakout intact and immediate upside in play. And then from here, we can watch the current high at 74.48 to act as the breakout trigger for strong follow through into new all-time highs above. So that is everything that I'm watching for in the week ahead. As we've talked about many times, with volatility, opens up opportunities, and there's some nice looking opportunities for the week and month of October. Thank you guys for watching. And for anybody interested in joining the private Discord chat, that is the first link down in the description to my personal trade alerts, nightly watch list with trade ideas for the next day, and I answer any question you guys have in there. Good luck trading the week ahead, and I will catch you all next time, and peace out.